So, would you ever recommend somebody for a job? Have you ever even thought about recommending somebody for a job? Well, let me tell you what happened to my mom and what happened to me. When I was in my teens, my mom had a friend who was the mother of one of my best friends at the time. She's not my best friend anymore, for good reason. Anyway, so she needed a job, and my mom had worked at the bakery for a long time. And so she talked my mom into giving her a recommendation. And so my mom did, and the woman was hired. Well, I kind of think because of mom being at the bakery for so long, she had all that seniority, and she was well thought of by not only the bosses, but the customers, everybody, that maybe this woman thought she could kind of not do as good of a job because, hey, she was friends with her. And I know mom would come home and she would complain quite a bit. And I don't remember for certain, but I'm thinking that the woman was actually fired. She no longer worked there anyway, and I'm pretty sure she was fired because of everything I've been hearing. And my mom swore up and down she would never, ever recommend anybody ever again after what had happened. You know? And so I thought, well, I won't either. And I should have kept my word to myself because I didn't. I had, well, but there's no contact anymore. A relative, a cousin, and he was telling us how he had been accused of a crime that he swore up and down he did not commit. And he said because of this that he couldn't get a job. Nobody would hire him. And I knew that when we delivered papers that they were always looking for drivers, for carriers. And so I asked if he was interested, and he said he was. So I said, well, I would put a good word in for him. And I remember talking to him, and he was concerned because of this, against him, that they wouldn't hire him. And I said, just tell the DM the truth. Tell him what happened. And he got hired. Well, my good word helped a lot, I'm sure, because we were very well thought of over there. So he delivered papers for a while, and there were things that happened, like he had to go to the hospital about something, and so Josh and I bagged up his papers for him so they were ready when he got there, and we were always helping him out with stuff. Even had used some of our bags and everything. And then, lo and behold, he was getting ready to leave one night, and I just had a funny feeling, and so I went up and I said something to him. He hadn't been talking to us for a while, and I didn't know why. But there was another couple of people, and I'll get into that shortly here, that we had also recommended them. And he had become really good friends with them and then stopped talking to us. So we didn't know if it had something to do with that or what. But I went ahead and I followed him out to his vehicle. And he said, well, tonight was his last night, that he was done. And it's like, he was going to leave without even saying anything. After all, being cousins, and I had recommended him for the job, I thought he would at least have said something, but he didn't, or wouldn't have if I wouldn't have followed him out. And so I thought we parted on decent terms. I mean, there was nothing wrong. I had recommended him for the job. He got the job. He was doing really good. But it seems like after that, he just wouldn't talk to us. We would see him like at the gas station and stuff, and he would be even parked right next to us, and he wouldn't say anything. And I don't understand it, because I went out of my way to help him to get a job, which he even said that because he had that job, he's been able to get other jobs since then. A lot better jobs. Well, okay, so it got your foot in the door, and it helped so that you were able to get a job when you told me that no one would hire you. Why are you blaming me or treating me like this? We were at the church after the funeral of somebody, and I was talking to him and mentioned about Facebook and said about, like, it'd be good to be friends on there. And he said, "Oh, I don't have Facebook." And yet, his wife and his sister both, "What? You do too?" So he lied to me in a church. I mean, lying about such a thing is just ridiculous anyway, but in a church? So I've just let it go. He's the one that doesn't want to talk to us after we went out of our way to help. And even since we were T-boned, he hasn't even texted or called or anything to see if we're okay. Of course, most of the family hasn't. Which I just don't understand, because any of them, we would help them if we could. Well, that goes for anybody, really. That's just the way we've always been. But, I don't know, his sister, she was on one of our routes, and we were able to give out some complimentary papers to help get people to join on. She got a year's worth of Sunday papers for free. And then she just suddenly unfriended and blocked me, and that was just it. They moved, and I ain't heard anything from her since. So I don't understand that either, especially since she's the one that has hurt me over the years. And yet, because of the fact that I remember her mom saying the doctor said that she was slow, she would always be slow, that I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt. I remember when she was younger, her mom brought her over and was saying that she had stolen some money at school and wanted me to talk to her. And so I did. And she insisted she never did it. I had a feeling that she had, but she wouldn't own up to it, not even to me. And later, come to find out, the police found the money on her, and she had stolen it from the teacher, and she was in trouble for that. So even back then, she was lying to me. She's one of the ones that was in my wedding, which, if I had known how things were going to go, I really don't think I ever would have even asked her. When she was younger, we knew she had a hard time at home. And I won't go into that right now, but so we would have her come over quite often for the weekend to give her a chance to get away from it, and just trying to be nice, and caught her stealing makeup from my mom. Then she stole makeup from me. It's like, because of this, we don't trust people to come in our home anymore. Not even relatives, because of how we've had this happen, It's hard when you have something like that happen and it's a relative and you just feel like you can't trust anybody anymore. And then to have where her brother, won't even talk to us after all this time. And what did we do? All we did was helped him to get a job. And yeah, for a while there, he helped do some work on our van, but Josh said he did most of it. And yet I paid this guy, our cousin, and Josh did most of the work, and yet I paid him. And yeah, I didn't pay him the wages he wanted. I didn't have the money he wanted. But at least I paid him, and Josh helped him. So I don't understand where all the anger has come from that he won't even talk to us. And as far as his sister, I'm done giving her the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, she's probably slow. The doctor said that she was, and I've seen things over the years, but she's just done too much damage. I mean, she actually was in the wedding, our flower girl, and she had a crush on my then new husband, but I didn't think too much of it. I mean, she was little, who would think anything of it? But years later, come to find out, I was told, and I saw and heard things, and I believe that she had an affair with him. So why is she so angry with me when he was at fault too, but she did it knowing that's her cousin's husband. But then again, we'll get into that in just a second here. Well, heck, we'll just do it now because I forgot what I was going to say about the other thing. Years later, we found out from her sister that she had kids and she hadn't been taking good care of them and they were taken away. But when they got older, they got where they connected again, and of course then she was the fun mom and she would let them drink and do different things. And from what we were told, she actually took her teenage daughter over to her sister's place, knowing her sister wasn't there, so that her teenage daughter could have sex. Oops, I probably shouldn't have said that word. Anyway, she could have with her uncle. Yeah, by marriage, but still, it's disgusting. And then I heard, too, that she wanted to be involved in it, too, and was upset because he wanted nothing to do with being with her. So you're not talking a very high-class person. I mean, who would ever take their daughter over to have with their uncle, even if it is by marriage? That's your sister's husband. That it just seems wrong in every way you look at it. But this is just the kind of person that she's been. I don't know. I just don't understand. When this family, we've been close to them all their growing up, basically. And yet, the one, he just moved away. And we haven't heard from him since. When my mom died, he was very supportive. He was wonderful, and I appreciated it. He gave us some like fruit salad and things and checked on us. We went over to his place and visited, and he was great with Josh. And then we had a pipe burst in our well house, and he was working for a plumber, and I didn't have much money, single mom, low income, but I asked him if he could come and help us. I sent, put voice messages on his machine asking if he would come and help us, and that I would pay him. I couldn't pay him plumber's wages because he didn't have that kind of money, but I would pay him. And he just never got back with me. I asked him to do a job that he does. I know he knows how to do it. Josh was just a little guy, and we needed help so we would have water. And I didn't say, oh, just come over and do it for free. I was willing to pay him. It just wasn't going to be as much as what a plumber would want for fixing it. So, and eventually he moved away. We haven't heard anything from him. And then the sister that was the flower girl, we never hear anything from her. But at this point, I've given her so many chances, and I'm tired of writing stuff off because, well, she's slow. She probably doesn't understand. He took advantage of her. He knew, this was wrong or whatever. But you know what? Even if you're slow, you got to know this thing is wrong. You don't do that. You just don't. And then to just unfriend me and block me when I didn't do anything. So we're not friends with her. We're not friends with the other one. And then the one that we helped get the job. So this is out of one family. There was 5 kids. We have one person that we talk to. And that's it. My aunt, I don't know what is up with her. When we went to the cousin's wedding, she was over across the way and kept staring. And I mouthed and said hi, and she just acted like she didn't know who I was. And we accidentally saw her over at the one that was the flower girl at her place one time, and she got out of her car, and I said, hi, how are you? And she just gave me a dirty look and never said anything and walked on. So I don't know what her problem is either. My uncle has died, so out of a family of 5 kids, 2 adults, we have one person that we actually talk to. And it's not like we talk to her all the time, but at least we do talk to her and she talks to us. And then the other part of the family on my dad's side, We don't have any contact with them because over the years it's been, well, if you send me a Christmas card, then I'll send you a Christmas card, but otherwise I'm not sending one. And when I explained that we were really low income and I didn't think we were going to be able to send any cards out, you would have thought they still could have went ahead and sent a card, sent a card and said, like, I'm sorry that your situation is bad, but I hope you have a nice Christmas anyway. I mean, what would that have hurt? He was a mechanic and made really good money. So it's not like they couldn't afford a Christmas card to just Josh and I. So I guess they've got a bunch of grandkids. There was the parents, my dad's brother and his wife, and then there was 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy, and I'm not sure how many kids each of them have, but from when I was talking to them, it sounded like they had quite a few grandkids. So we've got a whole big family over there that, I don't know, part of me, I was talking with Josh recently and I said, well, maybe I would see, I got to look and find their number because I haven't talked to them in so long, and hopefully it's the same. And let them know what happened, how we were T-boned in that, and just see from there how things go, how they act, if they contact afterwards. If they don't, then yeah, I guess we're done. I should not always have to be the one to make the first move to try and keep we're family and forgive things that are done against me that are really not nice. And yet I've tried and tried because I want to have a decent family. I want Josh and I to have a decent family. I miss the old days when I was younger and we used to go over and visit and do things together, grill out and different things. And now we have contact with one person. And it's not like we really see each other. So, but I have friends that are like family, and some of them have disappeared too because of the one friend, one of the best friends that was also in the wedding, and how she treated me because I put her name in a book, which it was just her first name, so it's like it could have been anybody, and it was supposed to be a nice thing, and instead she got mad and just was calling me all kinds of horrible names and just nasty, accusing me of stuff. But I think part of it is because she owes money and she didn't want to have to pay it. Sorry, sad to say, but I do think that's what it is, because it's just funny that she would get so worked up over such a little thing. I mean, if somebody put my name, Michelle, in a book, I would be thankful. And it's not like you got to worry that everybody's going to know it's you because your last name's not in there, Anyway, I think this has kind of gone all over the place today. And I'm almost getting pretty close to 20 minutes, so I probably should go ahead and let you go, because when they get longer like this, they're harder to get uploaded. But I just wanted to kind of catch you up on a couple things, and I kind of sort of did. But hopefully you and your family get along better and things stay good. And y'all take care. Oh, and it's 4th of July today, so happy 4th of July. Take care. Bye.